We've previously taken a detailed look at the Inkee Falcon gimbal system, which really is a joy to use. It performs well, it's comfortable with good battery life, and the GoPro camera connectivity functions perfectly well. And if you want to use it with other action cameras like the Insta360 One RS with its incredible 1-inch lens mod, then Inkee have you covered there too, with the slightly upgraded Inkee Falcon Plus. Although it doesn't come with the bells and whistles of some other gimbal systems, such as motor locking mechanisms and fancy integrated LCD displays, the Inkee Falcon is a fantastic all-rounder for those who want good performance with minimal fuss. We've taken a detailed look in a previous review, so we won't go into too much detail here again, but just be aware that the newest version, the Inkee Falcon Plus, is, on the face of it, the exact same thing with just some minor upgrades, including the lack of a finger, saving some weight, as well as slightly beefier motors catering for a heavier payload, such as the GoPro within its medium module for instance, or even this, the Insta360 One RS 1-inch edition. With that 1-inch sensor, these two could be a killer combination. With the camera in place, which fits perfectly well, we still need to go through a balancing process to reduce any unnecessary stress on the motors, although thankfully it's a simple affair, involving loosening the single screw on the tilt or roll axis one at a time, and balancing both. But to be fair, upon securing the Insta360 One RS into position, complete with that heavier 1-inch mod, I found that the system came perfectly balanced straight out of the box. I haven't manually balanced the camera whatsoever, yet we find it completely balanced on the tilt axis, as well as on the roll axis too. So no matter where the camera is positioned, it stays in place, indicating that it's nicely balanced across both axes, and we're ready to shoot. A few points to bear in mind with this particular setup though. Of course, we have easy access to the power and shutter buttons, as well as the small rear screen, made even easier thanks to the slightly angled roll motor. But saying that, just like the GoPro, we have no easy access to the side memory card slot and USB-C port. Unlike the GoPro though, thanks to the new housing design, we can easily unclip the side of the housing and slide out the entire camera. This is handy for not only accessing the side port or memory card, but also for swapping the battery, or even swapping out the lens module for the standard 4K mod for instance, before sliding the camera straight back into place with minimal fuss and no rebalancing, unless you change the module configuration of course. Otherwise, using the gimbal is as simple as ever. Power up and it's calibrated and instantly ready for use, stabilizing across all three axes perfectly well. No vibrations or issues at all coming from the motors. In fact, all three seem silky smooth, even with the added payload. Of course, we can use the rear buttons to switch between gimbal modes, locking and unlocking different axes as and how you wish to shoot, as well as using the thumbstick for finer gimbal control, which moves the gimbal faster the further you push the stick. The front trigger button can be used to lock all axes so the camera stays pointing in the one direction, as well as instantly swinging the camera back into selfie mode, or recentering the gimbal again. We even have portrait mode shooting in a flashlight style orientation, perfect for social media. In fact, I've been through testing all the different available modes and all work perfectly well. What won't work though are the three buttons on the side. These are used to remotely connect to a GoPro camera only and are not compatible with any other action camera. Not a deal breaker, but an important point to note. Even so, with the camera set to its highest capture settings with this 1-inch mod connected and flow state stabilization switched off, so making the gimbal do all the work here, we managed to get some really nice, steady shots. Bear in mind, these samples are all subject to YouTube compression, which does kill quality a little, and in addition I really would have liked the camera to offer 60 frames per second in this mode for shots I could slow down a little later in post without having stabilization applied, but nevertheless I'm really happy with the results. Although with a GoPro you'd get full functionality with regards to the remote connection buttons on the side, I found I really didn't miss this feature at all. In essence, if you're looking for slow panning landscape shots, or anything with a more cinematic feel, then the Inkee Falcon Plus with the Insta360 One RS 1-inch edition makes for a killer combination.